Hi, very good evening to all. My name is Bhavana and our subject is foreign trade. This is for BCom first years in first semester for general students only. In this previous lecture, we discussed what are the concept of disequilibrium, causes for the disequilibrium. There are different causes for disequilibrium. Today we are discussing what are the remedies or measures for correcting the disequilibrium in balance of payments. Our topic is remedies for causing balance of payments in international trade. Let's see here. Remedies for correcting balance of payments in international trade. What are the remedies for correcting the balance of payments in international trade? There are two types of remedies, that is monetary measure and non-monetary measure. For correcting balance of payments, in balance of payments account, the debit is equal to credit, but due to some reasons the debit is not is equal to credit. We can say it is in disequilibrium. So in the previous lecture we discussed what are the causes for disequilibrium. Today we are learning measures are correcting disequilibrium into equilibrium. There are two types of measures. First, monetary measures and non-monetary measures. Monetary measures of correcting disequilibrium into balance of payments are related to changing the value. Monetary means there is a monetary transaction, money transaction, changing the value or flow of currency. We are changing the value or flow of currency. We can say that it is a monetary measure, both domestic and foreign countries. Change the value or flow of currency, both the domestic currency and also foreign currency. In monetary measures, it includes monetary money transactions between two currency. Transferring currency from one country to another country, these type of transactions are controlled under monetary measure. Monetary measures of correcting disequilibrium in balance of payments are related to changing the value of flow of currency. Here changing the value of flow of currency, both flow means exchanging our value, means receiving or paying, both comes under exchanging, both domestic country and foreign countries. Let's see here. First measure is deflation. Deflation means we know that falling prices, we can say it is in deflated state, means the prices will fall day by day. Deflation means falling prices. Deflation has been used as a measure. Deflation has been used as a measure to correct the deficit equilibrium. It is one of the measures to correct the deficit equilibrium. How? Let's see here. A country faces deficit when its imports exceeds exports. We know that when the disequilibrium occurs, when our imports is more when compared to our exports, so we can say there is a deficit. A country faces deficit when its imports, our imports exceeds exports, we can say there is a deficit. Deflation is brought through monetary measures. Where deflation occurs, in which measures deflation occurs, is brought through monetary measures like based on our bank rate, open market operations, and through physical measures like there is an higher taxation, reduction in public expenditure, etc. These are all the measures. Deflation is brought through monetary measures. Deflation is brought through our monetary measures like bank rate. Bank rate, we know that our bank rate is 6%. Open market operations means like selling of goods and purchasing of goods based on our like interest fluctuations in our economy. And through physical measures like higher taxation, reduction in public expenditure. There is a high taxation. High taxation rate is more, and reduction, there is a reduce in public expenditure has been reduced, means public have no money, so we are unable to spend, etc. Deflation would make our items cheaper in foreign country. Deflation would make our items cheaper in foreign countries. In foreign countries, our item will be get very cheaper, so they purchase our goods. As a result, there is a rise in our exports at the same time, because our product is getting at very cheaper cost, so foreign countries may purchase our product. That is the reason our exports will increase. The demand for imports fall due to the higher taxation and reduced income. Because of the demand, why the imports demand has been reduced because of higher taxation. In India the taxation is very high, so we are unable to import the goods, and also reduced income. Our country people are unable to spend their income, so the imports will reduced and exports will increase due to our product will get very cheaper price in foreign country. So deflation is one of the measure to controlling balance of payments in disequilibrium. This would build a favorable atmosphere in the balance of position. So we can say this will build a favorable atmosphere in the balance of payment position. Therefore, deflation can be successful when exchange rate remains fixed. Exchange rate is remain fixed due to our product is available at very cheaper cost in foreign countries. That's why they purchase our products. So our imports could be reduced. Why our imports could be reduced? Because of in our country the taxation is very high and they reduced, and the public is unable to spend the income because they have no money. So the expenditure is very less and taxation is high. This is the reason the imports are gone reduced and our product get very cheaper cost in foreign countries. That is the reason our exports has been increased. So this is the one of the measure to control the disequilibrium in balance of payments in international trade. So we can say deflation is the one of the measure to control the balance of payments in international trade. Next, exchange depreciation. Exchange depreciation means decline in the rate of exchange of domestic currency. Our domestic currency, the rate is decline, means our currency rupee has been declined in terms of foreign currency. When compared to our foreign currency, our Indian currency rupee has been decreased. This device implies that country has adopted a flexible exchange rate policy. Based on these terms, that the device implies that country adopted flexible exchange rate policy. Flexible means it can be changed at any time. Flexible means it can fluctuate at any time. If in the international sphere rate of exchange in our comparing our world, the exchange rate is flexible. Rate of exchange is always flexible. It can fluctuate. It can may increase the exchange rate. It can may decrease the exchange rate based on our imports and exports, environment. Based on all these factors, the exchange rate will be flexible. Exchange depreciation is the outcome of market forces. Exchange depreciation means it is the outcome of market forces, that is demand and supply, where based on the demand and supply only the exchange depreciation occurs, while devaluation is the outcome of government decree. So devaluation means it is a government will decrease, so we can reduce our imports. So for reducing our imports also we can balance the equilibrium because of our value has been decreased, so we can reduce our imports based on this depreciation based on our exchange depreciation, because the exchange rate is fluctuation. When they increase, when they decrease, we don't know, but it is mainly based upon the demand and supply factors. In this case our money value has been decreased, so our rupee value has been decreased, so we are unable to buy the product, so we are unable to import. Based on in this case we can reduce our import. So this is also one of the reason why we can balance the balance of equilibrium. If there is no other point, we can increase the exports, but in this case we can reduce imports. So we can say it is also one of the control in balance of payments of international trade. Next, devaluation. Devaluation refers to the deliberate attempt made by the monetary authorities. It is a deliberate, means it is a main important attempt to bring down the value of home currency. Export depreciation is also to bring down the home currency, and devaluation is also we can bring down the home currency, means our country value is decreasing when compared to the foreign exchange. For that reason we can restrict our imports. Depreciation is a spontaneous fall. Depreciation is mainly based upon the demand and supply of the product. When the demand increases, then the fluctuation may rise. If the demand decreases, the demand decreases, then depreciation is a spontaneous phenomenon based upon the demand and supply. When the demand increases, the exchange rate also increases. When the demand decreases, the exchange also decreases. But due to interactions of market forces, devaluation is an official act enforced by the monetary authority. Depreciation is based on the spontaneity, based on the demand and supply of the particular product, taste and preferences of the consumer. But devaluation is comes under the monetary authorities. Devaluation refers to the deliberate attempt made by the monetary authorities to bring down the value of home currency. Our home currency value will come down. Due to this, we are unable to import the goods. Here we are controlling the imports. Depreciation is a spontaneous fall. You can say depreciation means depreciation nobody can take into the hands, because depreciation is mainly based upon the demand and supply. But devaluation is based on the interactions of the monetary authority. Generally, the International Monetary Fund advocates the policy of devaluation of a corrective measure of disequilibrium from the countries facing adverse balance of payment position. Generally, the International Monetary Fund, based on the IMF, advocates the policy of devaluation as a corrective measure. They say it is a corrective measure of disequilibrium from the countries facing adverse balance of payment position. They say we have to restrict the imports, then we can think about our exports. So first, balance of payments. Monetary Fund says that this is the one of the measure. By decreasing our currency value, we can restrict our imports. So it is also one of the measure. Up to now, we see there are the three types of measures, like deflation. There is a falling prices. For falling prices, our product get very cheaper in foreign countries. Then we can increase our exports, and due to high taxation and low public expenditure, we can restrict our import. This is also one of the measure for controlling disequilibrium in balance of payments. And exchange of depreciation. Depreciation is mainly based upon demand and supply. There is a fluctuation in exchange rate. For this, in this case also, our rupee value come decrease. For this, we can restrict our imports because of our rupee value get decrease. And devaluation is undertaken by the monetary authority. The International Monetary Fund mainly says that we have to restrict our imports, then we can balance our balance of payment account. Exchange control. It is an extreme step taken by the monetary authority. Exchange control is an extreme step taken by the monetary authority to enjoy complete control over the exchange dealings. What is an exchange control? It is an extreme step taken by the monetary authority to enjoy complete control over the exchange dealings. Exchange control is take complete authority of exchange dealings. Under such a measure, directs all exports to surrender their foreign exchange to the central authority. This is lead to concentration of exchange reserve in the hands of central authority. The mainly concentration of the exchange reserves. At the same time, the supply of foreign exchange is for supply means the imports has been restricted only for the essential goods. They impose a restriction on essential goods. It is only a temporary measure, not the permanent measure. While we go for the exchange control means, in this case our imports is high, very high when compared to our exports, then we can go through this measure. What is this? It is an extreme step taken by the monetary authority. It is an extreme means we have no other way, so then only we can take this type of control to enjoy complete control over exchange dealings. Under such a measure, directs all exporters to surrender their foreign exchange reserve to central authority. All foreign exchange were surrendered to the central authority. This is led concentration of exchange reserve. They mainly concentration on exchange reserve, and this exchange reserve authority stop the goods for importing to our country. If there is no way, then only we go through this way, because it is a temporarily, not permanent, and this is not the correct way to control exports and imports, because we are stopping imports. At the same time, the supply of foreign exchange is restricted for importing goods. foreign exchange are unable to export the goods to our country. They have so many of restrictions under central authority because of controlling the balance of payments. Only for essential goods, if it is compulsory need for our society, then only they allow these type of goods, and they restricted all other goods like luxurious items, like industrial goods. All other goods are stopped. Only they allow essential goods. It is a temporary measure, not a permanent measure. Exchange of control is a temporary measure. It is completely under the control of exchange authority. These are all the different levels under monetary control. What are these? Deflation for reducing the prices, and exchange depreciation. Exchange depreciation is mainly based upon the demand and supply of the product. The exchange rate is flexible. For that measure, we can restrict our imports. Based on the exchange depreciation, we can restrict the imports. And devaluation is also undertaken by the monetary authorities. The International Monetary Fund states we have to restrict the imports. See here, generally the International Monetary Fund advocates that policy of devaluation as a corrective measure. International Monetary Fund says it is a corrective measure of disequilibrium for the country's foreign adverse balance of payment position. So in this we have to restrict our imports. And exchange control is undertaken by the exchange authority. In this they restrict the foreign import, they restrict the foreign goods. It only allows the very necessity of the goods. It restricts all industrial goods and some other luxury goods. So it is also one of the measure for exchange control, but it is a temporary measure, not a permanent. These are all the monetary controls, monetary measures for controlling the disequilibrium in balance of payment account. What are these? Deflation, expenditure depreciation, devaluation, and exchange of control. These are the measures. To control the balance of payments in disequilibrium in international trade. These are the monetary measures. I hope you understand the lecture. If you have any doubt regarding this today's lecture, please let me know. Thank you.